So welcome back guys. As you can see, we're moving around the wall, which means that I'm in for some wall game for Yoshimitsu. How do you create situations where you can score wall splat and how to open up the opponent at the wall. I'm gonna make two parts again because I actually found way more than I thought I would have to cover. And I'm very interested if people still are interested in this kind of stuff, because the game has been out for a very long time, but I still think there is a lot that I can cover and maybe give you a deeper insight on. One last thing before we go in, I found one thing that I think a lot of people don't know that I will show at the end, haha. And the next thing is, I actually promised to upload content about Feng Way, and I made around 15 videos already, which I didn't show any of, because I'm not really sure if people are actually interested in that. So from now on I will make it like this. Sorry if that forces you to interact, but I want to see in the comments section like a voting which of the characters I should cover in the next video. I see that 20 Yoshimitsus and no Fengs, then of course I will just keep doing Yoshimitsu stuff. But if there are characters that you want to have some specific insight because I play the whole cast, then just let me know. So enough of the talking, now we come to the things that make this video interesting. So the first one is up 4, which I will show you at the end, because there's one thing about up 4 that you are not allowed to see right now. The first move we're gonna cover is up 3+4. Up 3+4 is a very slow, sorry I will turn on the frame info, a very slow mid which comes out at 14 frames, and in my top 5 moves that you shouldn't use I covered this move. Why? Because it's reactable with 40 frames of startup and very like zero tracking at all. Why do I recommend using it at the wall? Because on block it is +3. If you do this on max range, it is actually +4, which is very important, because Yoshimitsu, outside of having while running free, doesn't have a lot of plus frame moves. Back 1, up 3+4, and running free are the ones I'm using very frequently. And at +4 you can counter hit that into down for 1-2 or while standing 1-2, which you can easier counter hit confirm. You can go for a 2-4, you can go for a sidestep 4, which is also very annoying at the wall, or you can just back off and see what the opponent is doing and create your space. I for myself have to say that I like to stay around rage 3 when my opponent is at the wall and try to realign with sidestepping instead of being very close, but that's just me. I will explain in the second video I make about this why, but a lot of moves have good range that wall splat for Yoshimitsu and do wall splat from a larger distance than other characters do. So this move becomes very viable because it hits grounded, forces plus frames on block with the opponent and crouch, and if you hit it, you get a mini combo. Keep in mind though, before you use this, you have to get your opponent to stand still on wake up and not sidewalk, because this move is very vulnerable to sidewalk. Oh, I think now he still has repeated it, right? Oh, that's good. The next one I want to cover is an infamous one at the wall, down back 3-3. Down back 3-3 in the open being a shitty low changes completely when you're at the wall, because the mid wall splats, and it's a pure mix-up. There's no fuzzy to it. So what you can literally do at the wall is just spam this, stay here even though you're -7, and spam it again. The good thing about the low is it tracks very decently to both sides, and even though it's -7, when there is no pushback and you input flash and he tries to press a button, reading that you're not gonna continue with the mid, he's gonna get eaten by the flash, and if he presses buttons, he's gonna get wall splatted by the mid, which makes the move very annoying at the wall. Keep in mind though, if the opponent has an I-13 frame launcher, he can interrupt you here if he blocks the first 2, and then the risk reward is not in your favor anymore. But the characters are in a minority, so you have to know your matchup. I like about this move that's also a high crush, because most people there are 3 ways to get off the wall, like I told you: jabs, side walking, and dash blocking. And dash blocking and jabs lose to this, and side walking is kind of a 50-50. It has decent tracking, but sometimes they can get out of the wall. But the real problem I have that I play on the range 3, and from this the first 2 will whiff most likely. So for this to be effective, I have to dash in once, and a good opponent will immediately see, okay, he's going out of his comfort range, so a low is coming. So you have to really space this at max range, and max range is 2.5 around here to make it work. Because if you get closer, the opponent will see and know that you're gonna go for a low, even though high-level opponents won't duck at the wall because Yoshimitsu doesn't have a knockdown and no sword stance, and this one is not scary enough. So you have to really annoy them with this to open them up for your mids. The next one is my actually favorite one. It's forward 1+2, and the main reason why I stay at range 3. Because if you do this from exactly range 3, they get hit if they try to sidewalk or press a button, and you get a free CD1 for Great Oki. But the situation I like about it the most is if they block it. Because if they block it, you're actually at almost the exact distance you were before. It pushes you back to range 3, which is a distance where if the opponent presses a slower button, you can use 2-1 to counter hit, or you can of course use your baits. But most people don't even attempt at this range to press a button, so you just kind of neutral in the situation, even though you're actually -6, sorry. So what this leads to, this move has tracking to one side, so they are pressured to go to the other side, and then of course there are tools which track to the other side as well, and the whole room gets tied together with upward 4, even though it's being slow. The next move I want to cover, wait a second, I actually forgot which one it was, is down for 1+2, 1+2. This one is a very iffy one. In the open it's not that good because it lacks range, but at the wall it's actually very annoying. And I'm a big fan of the first hit, because being +4 at the wall for the opponent with flash at your disposal is very, very heavy, and also being able to counter it confirm while standing 1-2 makes this a frame trap. Only get like trades with big jabs, which is very, very annoying. But it tracks to one side, but it's 26 frames, so good players. The good thing about this move is it's not commonly used, so people are not familiar with the animation. But the low is very, very slow, so good players will react to this. But even then, the first one is -11. The second one is I think -13, which is kind of annoying. But if you only go for the first one, it's even a mix-up if you continue to the second one, because you can slightly delay it like this. Looks like I'm hit confirming it, but I'm actually delaying it. So if you do this, then the low is actually pretty pesky to punish. It would be nice if it would be hit confirmable, but as you can see, the second hit, what most people don't even know, is a wall splat if it counter hits. So you can really condition them with the delay to not press buttons even if they block the first hit, which is very, very interesting in my opinion. And every time, what you have to think is, how do I get close enough without my opponent knowing? But there comes the buffed range of this move, which is actually now like 2.5, I think, which is actually decent. So if you're around here, you can throw it out and it will hit around this range, and if you hit it, it's even +5 if you hit it at max range instead of +4. See there. And then it's actually only -10, which is crazy, but it has to be perfectly spaced for that. So a lot of people don't actually know that you can delay this, and that this is not only hit confirmable but also delayable, and the second hit on counter at wall splats, which is very annoying about the delay. But a very good opponent will react to this and just low parry it. And if you have an opponent at this level, you have to reserve to down back free. And now we... My girlfriend is looking like me like I'm a fucking madman. And now we come to the last move I'm gonna cover. It's up 4. A move that is, yeah, very slow but safe. It's a homing mid, which is on the very slow side, but it's -9. And now you think, okay, if my opponent blocks this move, I don't want to be all the time -9 in their face. And you're right about that. But I have one thing that I don't see a lot of people use, and it's a small thing, but believe me, it makes a difference. So you have to implement this move because it covers so many options. Low crushing, wall splatting, sidestepping. It's more for side walking because it's so slow, but at the wall you can also use forward free. But the funny thing is, if you do it neutral, like not moving forward, look at the distance I'm at. So let's say I want to do it from around here, and then all of a sudden I started at 1.8 or 1.9, and all of a sudden I'm back at 2.6. Do you see that? And that's a range where a down forward run from Yoshi will track you, hit you, but a down forward run from Lee, for instance, will whiff. And if you even do it further, you can hit this from around range 2, from neutral, and being pushed back to almost 2.6. And jabs, for instance, won't reach at that distance. So it looks like a very minor thing, but I actually scored a lot of counter hits against people who try to retaliate after this on block because it's -9. And then if you use a high crush, for instance, or, which is very risky and not reliable in every situation, but let's be honest, in ranked we all use a lot of stuff that isn't that good, is actually CD2, sorry. CD2 in this situation, for some reason, for me, crushes jabs very consistently, and of course has good tracking and is a normal hit wall splat. It looks super shitty, but for some reason it really works for me. Just check it out. I will make another one of those, of these for 5 more moves. I actually found 7. But I won't cover Dragonfly moves anymore because I covered them to death, and you already know that this move is godlike at the wall. I hope you enjoyed it, and please send me in the comments if you want to see only Yoshi guides or Feng Wei as well, or maybe different characters. So I hope you enjoyed this. See you in the next one. Goodbye.